Hi, transformational speakers. Erin Lohman Jack here, and I am excited to show you how to make 10K anytime you take a stage. And I mean, any stage, any kind, you have it. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to stop leaving money on the table when speaking. So I'm excited to get started here. I'm going to share my screen and get us moving here. So you don't have to be a rocket science to make this work because it's too small and I got to make it big. Then I can share the screen. All right. So let's jump in. How to make 10K from any stage, anytime, even when you can't sell. So many times speakers come to me and they're like, Erin, I have all these speaking gigs, but a lot of them are for free. And how the heck am I going to pay for my hotel, my flights, all of these things to get me to the stage where I might not even be able to sell? Well, I'm going to break down all of the secrets, the ninja skills that all of the major speakers, trainers, coaches, thought leaders out there are using. So speaking isn't for the faint of heart. Let's be serious. Like, it is impossible sometimes to keep getting your gigs, closing the rooms, following up, doing all the things. But that's why I create systems around this. If you're tired of speaking for exposure and not getting paid, you need to change your own mindset. There are a couple things that you should be doing that you probably aren't, which one is, and I'm just going to give you a little secret tip right here. If you're not sending an invoice for your speaking and crossing it off saying complimentary or sponsored, no one knows that they should be paying you. This is what's wrong with our industry. So many newbie speakers will do it for free. And then the event planners go, oh my gosh, if they're doing it for free, why won't I take the free person? Then I could use that budget for something else. That's the problem in this industry. And the people that are speaking for free who know how to convert, we don't care. We'll still speak for free, but I at least send them an invoice so that they know that I gave my service. And if they want to hire me next time, they know my prices. Smart, right? Already learning. So if you learning about struggling to figure out how to convert sales from the stage, any of those things, it is all up in here, guys. It's all up in here. I just recently raised my prices. I have a package at $100,000 and one person bought it already. It is that simple. And I'm not just saying that because I'm great at sales and I'm all these things. Don't think I'm special. My highest package I ever sold before this was $18,000. It's a big jump from 18,000 to 100,000. But it was what I shifted in here and in here that got me in alignment to show the value. And I know I was worth more. And now I'm being paid a lot more. So I really want you to think, if you're doing things for free, yes, would I do this for free? I would all the time. This is for free, right? So I will speak for free and give so much value to people. But I always know that the universe is working in my favor, that it's coming back to me as well. So I want you to change your mindset that if you are doing it for free, there are ways that you're leaving money on the table. And I'm going to break through those for you this week. Or this week, today, not this week. Well, I guess it would be this week because you can implement this week. Here's the thing, guys. You cannot be a lighthouse of the world if you can't even keep your own lights on. Now, this used to hit me so hard because there were so many times where I'd go and I would speak. It was amazing. People would say, oh my gosh, can you come speak to my group and my group and my group? But nobody bought from me. I would literally pack up all my stuff, take down my big banner stuff, walk out to the car and just be like, what is wrong? What is happening? What do you want from me? Like, what is this? And it took me really figuring out that there were a lot of ways I was leaving money on the table. And so you guys, if you want to sustain your message, if you truly want to continue to serve the world in the way that you are divinely guided to serve the world, then you need to learn how to get paid for it and not have shame around it, not feel icky about it. I don't want any of those things. I don't ever sell. I don't ever feel like I'm selling. And if I do, oh, my energy gets weird. I really am just saying, I have the solution to someone's problem. If this is your problem, I'm the solution. It's really that simple. But when we make it about us, we get all in our head about what we're worth, what we value, what should I put in there? How many things can I put on? Maybe I don't have anything to put in there. Then we get in the way. You have to make the money to sustain the message. So we're going to talk money. Now, you guys, I came from a small town. Like I literally was 45 minutes away from where I grew up. I moved back here a couple of years ago during COVID to help my mom. But here's me, and this is going to date me because you can see the computer, but this is my little childhood home. I'm from humble beginnings. And to think about $100,000, like my parents never made anywhere near that. My parents didn't even combined, I don't think even made $50,000 a year. So I want you to understand that this isn't something I was born into. I didn't even have the sphere realm to know this stuff was available to me. It really was doing the work. And for years, figuring this out, figuring what worked, what didn't work, learning from all of the top coaches in the world that I got to this place. Because when I grew up, I wanted to be a dolphin trainer. And I was. I moved down to the Florida Keys and became a dolphin trainer in my early 20s. And I loved it, but it only paid me $8.50 an hour. That is nothing to live on in the Florida Keys, let me just tell you. So I was working as a waitress at night and I was dolphin training in the daytime. But when I went to there to the first time, I was like, I really want to be a dolphin trainer. At the time I was volunteering. And they said, all you need to do is get a psych degree or a teaching degree. So I went back to school and got my psych degree. And then I wanted to be a therapist. And so I went to school, got my undergrad in psychology, then went into my master's program in therapy and really, truly understood what's going on inside here, how the human mind works, how the motivation works, has positive psychology and reinforcement and all of the things that I was being trained to do to go back to be a dolphin trainer, which I did. But it really truly was this place of like, oh, deep transformation is happening here. This is what I want for people. But if I tell you the truth, I'm an empath sitting in rooms, people, their darkest, deepest stuff pouring out and leaving it. They felt great. They would leave, but now I'm stuck. I'm stuck in all this murky energy in my room and it drained the life out of me. So during my clinicals, I decided this isn't for me. The other thing is that I am so results driven. I get massive results for my clients. As a therapist, they want you to just keep asking the same questions. And a lot of times people come in with the same problems and do nothing different. I'm like, hey, did you try that new technique we talked about? Did you try that thing that we came up with? No. I was like, I can't do this. If people don't want to shift and change, I can't do this for them. I can't want it more for them than they want it. So that's when I became a coach. And I have been on some of the biggest stages. I've been trained by some of the top people in the world. And these are just a few of them. And there's my big events that I've been holding for many years, Transformational Speaker Summit. But here's the thing, guys, it wasn't always this easy. You know, there was times where, like I said, I'd walk out not making a single sale. And I thought, oh my gosh, this one time, we needed diapers for my son. My son's now 14, but we needed diapers for him. And I was like, it's okay. I have a speaking gig. I'm going to sell my course. I got this. I was all confident doing it all. Went back to that car, same way I sat there with my forehead on the steering wheel and thought, I failed my family. What am I doing? What a waste of time. Maybe I should go get a real job, because with a psych degree, I could get almost any job. But that's when I really turned and started hiring the top people so that I could figure out what was wrong, what I was getting in my own way, and what the simple sales techniques and the things that I wasn't doing that really need to be implemented to make the money that some of the biggest names were making in the industry. So guess what? I get to share those with you. I worked with some of the top companies in the world: Microsoft, Amazon, Expedia, Google, Boeing. I was doing all of that pre-COVID. That was the biggest thing. And then when COVID hit, like everyone else, I had to shift again. So I pivoted back to entrepreneurs. I love the entrepreneur space. I've also worked for TEDx. I have been hired by many organizers to be the TEDx on the TEDx screening committee and to take all of their speakers from idea to ovation. The other thing is I also help people land the speaking gig into TEDx because I was on the screening committee. So I know exactly what it takes. And I even have a whole course on that. It's called Red Dot Secrets. It's the TEDx course, and it has everything people need, from how to pitch all the way to taking the stage and how to go viral. But that has come because of all the work I kept doing and building upon. And that's why some of the corporate people started calling me. I didn't think I could do corporate. I wasn't really in corporate. I was always a social worker or dolphin trainer or a therapist. I didn't know the corporate culture and I didn't think I could do it. But that was annihilated as well. And I want you to see that it can be something simple. This is my good friend, Christy. Christy had been speaking on stages and she just never made a lot of money at the beginning. And she's like, how do you keep doing this? I keep getting out there and sharing my heart and soul with people, but nobody buys. And so with one day we sat down, we mapped out her entire event that she was doing. And the first time she made $5,000 from an event. Now I would have pushed her to make more, but here's the thing, guys. I can't create a big package for you. I can't create $100,000 package if you can't even say 100,000 and not shift your energy. So this was a small one, but I want you to see that it can be an extra 5,000 from one day. How would you like to be paid $5,000 for a 4-hour workshop? That's great. That's what you're going to be able to do. So I want to go into my blueprint. This is the 10K from any stage blueprint. I'm going to walk you through step by step and show you examples of what I've done in order to get the results that I get. All right. So let's say you get a free talk. You get this free talk. Let's say it's in Arizona and you're going to go down to Arizona and it's a group, and I'll actually use it later, but in this group, the biggest thing for this group is they meet as a networking group. They want more members into their group. So they have speakers that come in once a month with their luncheons and speak, but you're not allowed to sell from the front of the room. You can have a table and you can sell from your table. So when you think about it, well, how do I get people to the table? What do I do? Listen, you start before you even leave your home. I'm going to show you how to make money right now before you even leave your house to travel to wherever you're speaking. Here's the secret. So the organizer is your first audience. Your organizer, you want to make them so happy with you that they are over the moon with you and will just move mountains for you. All right. Here's how you do that. Okay, Jane, I know you're having this event coming up. So what I think we should do is let's do a joint Facebook Live or Instagram, and let's invite more people to your event. Bing, 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 bing. Organizers want more people at their event. If you can leverage your own network, do so. If you know you're flying down to Arizona and you know people in Arizona, invite them to come see you speak, but not just for that, so that you're making that organizer feel so special. What I also do is during this Facebook Live, I will say, hey guys, I want to get you really prepared for when I show up because I'm going to deliver the goods, but you're going to need to get ready for that. So I'm going to give you for free a webinar for you to go through and get ready for my talk when I come down later this month. Now in this webinar, I'm going to let you know there's a secret, because when I come down and I speak on Thursday at the event at blah, blah, blah hotel and blah, 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 the following day, I'm going to do a deep dive workshop for you, 4 hours diving in specifically to your business, adding all of the things we're going to talk about in the webinar and in person while I'm there speaking. We're going to implement that into your business. So if you can't make the Thursday, it's okay. You will get a discounted ticket at the end of the webinar because I'm selling it at the event for $97, but for you, you get it for $77. So don't forget to watch that webinar. Now, pulling back out of teaching, listen to this. The people who didn't know about the event might just enroll. The people who maybe couldn't come on that Thursday, but are available Friday, will go through the webinar, watch it, and buy a ticket to Friday. They don't get to miss you, right? So now you're gaining more people onto your list. They're opting into your webinar. And now instead of just the 60 people at this event or 100 people at this event, now you have access to their whole group and your whole social media. Now more people see this and even go to your webinar. Aha, right? So that's the most amazing thing. You collect emails along the way. Now in this free training, give massive value. I want you to pour out everything. I am tired of hearing people say, don't tell them the secrets. Don't give it all away. In this, you want to, because you want to build that know, like, and trust. You might even want to build that people that might not have thought about attending that event, watch your webinar, and now they're going to attend it. And now they want the deep dive as well. This is strategic. All right. So then when you show up to your event, you fly out, that's how you make the money to get there, right? Selling at the back of your webinar. I've made enough money always to pay for my hotel, my flights, everything that I needed. Now, when you're at your event, now you need to know the rules and always asking the organizer. In that, what you do is you really ask, all right, what is it you're selling? Again, how can I support you? So when we find out what they're selling and what they need, like, hey, I'd be happy to throw in a bonus for anyone that signs up to be a member today. I'll gift them into the deep dive workshop, and I'm going to give you a ticket as well. Oh my gosh, now you think your organizer's happy? They are. So from there, you go into your talk, and we're going to break this down a little bit more in the next couple steps. But then at your table, now here's another secret. I wish I had one in here. I forgot it. I have ring lights that clip on your phone. Now, let me tell you a little secret. These ring lights cost me $4. I sell them for $25 on my table. I have them all lit up. The boxes are all in Chinese even, okay? I buy them on wish.com or AliExpress because I teach people how to go live, that this is a stage. You're always on stage. Why wouldn't you just pull out your phone? You have a TV show right here. When you're speaking, you have a stage, but you can create your own stage with social media. So now I have all these ring lights. They're all lit up on my table, and people are like, what's going on? I say, hey guys, listen, come here, clip it on your phone, try it out. Pull up your camera, look at yourself. Now turn the little light on. Oh, it's Botox in a bulb. I know you guys can't see, but I have a huge ring light right in front of me. And see how there's looks like I have no wrinkles. I am 44 years old. I got some crow's feet, if you know what I mean, from all my smiling. But I will tell you, it looks like I don't. And so I sell it from that, and I get people to come. Now, if you see all these people doing this and everyone's got these lights on their phone, guess what? The whole room starts coming to your table. This is interactive, and this sells. Even if all I did was sell those, I still made money. But what I also do is say, hey, and I have my upcoming my workshop I'm going to do tomorrow. Here's a flyer, right? Get signed up, bring it back to me, and we'll get you signed up for tomorrow's event. This is epic. You get social proof by people all coming to your table. All the other table people will be upset that the other vendors, because you're going to have all the attention. But the reason is you find something that interacts, that gets engaging for people, that really fits with your brand too. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's, some kind of mind tricks or fun games or whatever. But you can bring people to your table in that way, because that's where you really can sell. So bring things you can sell. You can even sell other people's books, by the way. Don't think that it has to be special. You could go on Canva and make a workbook and sell that. All right, just gave you a whole bunch more. Okay, so now after you sell from there, then let's say you're up at the front of the room, you're going to say, hey, anyone who signs up as a member today, for this Jane's organization, I'm going to gift you a ticket. So now you kind of got to pitch in front of the room, and the organizer doesn't feel cut out because her objective is still being made. And this is important stuff, all right? And then you get people to come to the next day, and that's where you can give them more value, but sell into your higher end packages. So let's break this down. So here's Toastmasters. I didn't believe anyone that was in Toastmasters had money. Don't shame me. Don't throw tomatoes at the screen. I swear. I was like, well, they pay like $50 a year for membership. I probably don't think they're going to hire me as a coach, because my prices are a lot higher than them. But here's what happened. They brought me in to talk about TEDx. And they did this as a membership poll. Anyone that came, if we get 100 members, Aaron will come in and teach us TEDx. So I did. During the talk, someone asked, how do you work one-on-one with people? I'm like, I have an application process for that. Hey, do you do workshops? Yes, I do that. People were asking me how to work with me. This was so amazing. And I wasn't even going to sell, but I had my course. Again, I had a course. I was like, I'll even discount it to $197, because I feel, if they're paying $50 a year, they probably don't have all that money. Yeah, that wasn't the case. So no table, no pitch, never got to do the Facebook Live ahead of time. None of the things I just taught. In the course, I sold 4 of them. But what actually happened was the people that were saying, hey, how much does this cost? How much is? I'm like, oh, that's a VIP day. I had 2 people ask me how to get on my calendar. Immediately got on my calendar. The next day, I sold 2 VIP days at the time. Now, at the time, my VIP days were only $3,000. They're not that anymore. They're 10. But I want you to see that even with a small end package, you can make over $10,000 anytime you take a stage. So as we said, always add value to the organizer. They always want butts and seats. They want people who want to come back. They make their lives easy. You make their lives easy. Like, who else do you know that I should be speaking at their groups? Get referrals, people. You're leaving money on the table if you don't ask your organizer who loved you to A, give you a testimonial, and to ask who else do they know and where other groups should they speak at. So here's where we go. Facebook Live, have them opt into your training, then tell them about your deep dive workshop. This is where you start to build that know, like, and trust, but also the money to pay for all of your expenses. Now, here's an example. This was an eWomen thing. Her name was Kathy, the managing director, and she had her group. We did a Facebook Live in her group, and then we shared it out to my page as well. We had 300 people opt into the online training. 65 people or 60 people register to attend the event, where they usually have 35 to 40. So you think she was happy she got an extra 20 people in the room? And I just gave 300 more people to my email list. Who doesn't want 300 more people added to your email list today, right? Stop leaving money on the table, guys. So then train them on that webinar, what they need to know before you come to the in-person talk. Give tons of value. Like, if for me it's speaking and it's making money speaking and all that. Well, what about the people who are afraid to speak? What are the people that don't have a talk, don't know what to do? That's where I start preparing them. But I don't just speak to that. I speak to both and combined it so that the novice and advanced learners can both gather a lot of information from this. Again, pouring value. So 300 people signed up for the webinar, 80 showed up in person, 10 people purchased a discounted ticket, which brought, so that was $770. Now you can see how I bought the plane ticket, all the stuff. So always ask the organizer for a table. That really is the place that makes it easy for you to sell anything you want. You can do a free giveaway. You can even say, hey, I have a free giveaway. Anyone who wants to go to the workshop, if you put your business card in the thing over there, we're going to spin to see who wins it. That's another way of being able to pitch from stage without selling. It's a giveaway ticket. Secret. So from my table, I sold 10 ring lights. I had 15 people opt into the workshop, and I gave it for gave it to 3 people for free. The organizer always, and 2 other people. Now, here's the other secret. Psychology wise, everybody looks at that leader of their group as the person they want to follow or be like. So if you give them a ticket and say, Jane's going to be at this event, you should come. They're all going to want to come because they want to be closer to Jane. And if Jane's doing it, they should be doing it. So they'll do that. It's also a psychological trigger. So here's what happened. 28 people came into the workshop. I offered one-on-one coaching for $7,500, tickets to my Speaker Success Summit. And by the time I was done, I made $13,917 from each step was adding in to the full package. So I even made more money than that. So see how easy it is with a room full, even 40 people, how much money I made. So here's Calvin. Calvin was so amazing. We knew each other from way back. We were at Experts Academy together, and we were in Lewis Howe's School of Greatness Academy back in the day. And he had a beta program. And Calvin really worked with me a couple times, and it was really easy, some shifts and changes in what he was doing. And now he's making more money in one speech than he did in a whole month at his actual job. This is totally doable, guys. This isn't just for special people. So let's talk about the Women of Global Change. I went on the cruise for the Women of Global Change, got to bring I think he was 9 at the time. My son was 9 at the time. But listen, this was cool. I never got to know anybody beforehand. None of the pre-sales or marketing. I only got 20 minutes in front of the room, but I was on day 3 of this week-long thing, or maybe day 4. So I spent all the days before getting to know every single person, asking every single person what they wanted to get the most out of this event. And I tweaked my speech to add all of those things in. So as I was pulling them, I had no opt-in, nothing, no workshop afterwards. I didn't have access to another room to do one. Next time I will ask if I could do a late night one in the same room that we were teaching in, but I didn't really know where we were at. I booked calls with 6 women, closed 3 one-on-one clients and 1 TEDx client, and booked 3 speaking events. If you're not getting speaking events when you're speaking every time, there is something off. There's something off in your delivery. There's something off in your message, or there's something in the who the ideal audience is. Maybe they're not the right audience. But here's the thing, guys, most of the time it's your delivery. We're going to talk about some delivery stuff in a few minutes. But if you're not closing 30% of the more of the room when you're speaking, you need to work with me. And you'll have an opportunity at the end. And I'm telling you this because I don't want you to struggle through this anymore. I know what it feels like. It's really in front of you. Look, $19,000. Who would want that? When they're on a cruise and they made $19,000, I like to go on vacation and make money. So why does this blueprint work? I'm going to show you. This is the coveted compelling conversion matrix that I created. It is so important to know how much time you're in front of your audience and what you can offer. Some of you are like, well, I don't know what to sell. I don't know how much to charge. You cannot do a 20-minute talk and sell into an $18,000 mastermind. You can't. I'm good at sales. I don't know if I'm that good. So listen, this is important stuff. I want you to think, all right, how much time? So if we go back to the Facebook Live, now let's add 30 minutes there. Then you do an hour-long webinar. So now I'm in front of these people for an hour and a half. Then they all came to my table. I got to know them. Now we're looking at another hour. So now we're at 2.5 hours. And then when I go and do my talk, that's at least 30 minutes. So now we're at 3 hours, but we're in the event for 2. So I'm networking with people, getting to know people. So now we're building up to about 4 hours. And then by the time they come to your deep dive workshop, now you're gaining even more, right? 4 more hours. So now we're like 8, 9 hours. Look what you can offer somebody if you've been speaking to them for at least a day. Now you can sell into a $20,000 mastermind. It's simple, guys. You need to build the know, like, and trust. And guess what? If you pour in value at the beginning, they're going to be like, wow, if this is what she gives me for free, what do I get in the paid stuff? I need you to hear that. If this is what I get for free, what am I going to get in the paid stuff? That is what their brain will say. And that's why you can close more money. So again, you need to know what to say, how to position it to close 30% or more of the room, right? So let's talk deep about what that means. So let's go back. Psychology. Here we go. What is going on in this person's mind? How are they taking in information? What are they experiencing with you? And what are their biggest problems? The biggest thing is you need to know your ideal audience. What keeps them up at night? Solve that in front of the room. That's it. Solve that in front of the room. So listen, here is what you need to know. There's probably something off if you're not closing 30% or more. It's right in here, or it's in your offer. Right? Like we said, ideal audience, ideal offer, and then the compelling, right here, compelling communication. So nonverbal communication, 50% of what the audience is taking in is your physicality. It's your facial expressions. It's your smile. If I say, I am so sad, it was my daddy's funeral. What? You're out of alignment. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Right? These things are important. But the other thing that's important is in the first 90 seconds, you have to show them that you are the expert that the person just introduced. You are worth spending time with, and you're worth me putting my phone down. So I'm not just sitting here staring at stuff. Right? So I want you to understand that when you go up and you have all these neurochemicals going up, the fight or flight, you think there's a tiger or lion out there. Really, truly, there's not. You're not going to die if you go on stage. And even if you forget all your words, you're not going to die. But that's what your body thinks and your brain thinks. So it's eliciting all the fight, flee, or fight, flight, or I can't remember. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, it's get stuck. See, you don't have to be perfect. You can forget your words and it's okay. But when that's happening, what's your whole body is like ready to move, right? It's got all this adrenaline, all this epinephrine, you're like freaking out. Here's the thing. I have breathing techniques to calm your body down. But what happens is this part of our body, our torso, is our most sensitive area. So we try to hide it. Some people will hold onto the microphone for dear life, stand behind a podium, hold their papers up to block the energy. None of that works. Some pin our elbows because it's a self-soothing technique. I call this danger, Will Robbins, danger. You have to show you have nothing to hide on stage. So one of the first things I always do is open body language. How many of you in here have a message you want to create a movement with? This even works on Zoom, guys. I'm doing it now. There are secrets that I do after that get the whole tribe together that you'll learn in the community and in some of my courses. But I really want you to understand you can create a tribe of people even if they've never met anybody in the room. And if they're all complete strangers, you can all make them feel like they're in it together and they know each other and they're not alone. And you know, in the world today, now more than ever, people are feeling alone. We're lone silos in our houses. We've been, pushed away from people for so long. It is time for us to come back together. And this is one way that you can majorly step out and create that safe space for everyone to be included, right? Then there's vocal tonality, and we'll talk deeper about that. Pitch, pace, tone, volume, melody. Storytelling is 13%. How you tell your story. Most speakers screw this part up. And then the words. Most people don't care what you say. It's how you say it and how you made them feel. So let's dive deep. Body language. We all know this is easy, some of the things, but let me just tell you one other thing. Eyebrows. So you're going to now be obsessed with watching my eyebrows for the rest of this thing. If I actually relax my eyebrows, I have to really consciously think about it. Here's where my eyebrows normally sit. And I have to be very monotone so that I don't use my facial expressions. But this is where my eyebrows sit normally. But here's where I have them every minute of the day, pretty much. And then I always go up. And here's why. Think about this. Somebody hot walks in the room. You raise your eyebrows. Ooh, who's that? It shows interest, curiosity. It also validates, as I just did it, it validates that I'm looking at you and that I understand you and I'm interested in you. Now, here's what happens with most men. They can get the angry eyebrows and they can point their finger and they're so passionate. But if you turn off the volume, I look like I'm yelling at you. That is not the way to use your eyebrows. So your job is to practice your eyebrows. That is one huge thing that you can change. That will be just looking in the mirror and working on it. And it really will help everybody feel like they're actually seeing you more. I'm looking at a camera right now. There's not anybody in here. I am all by myself doing this, but I'm still using all my facial expressions, all my hand gestures, all the things I would do on a regular stage to engage you, to keep you interested. All right, so 50%. There are a lot of things we're doing when we first get up there with all those nerves that are killing our presentation before we even start it. Now, vocal tonality. Here's where I learned from the top vocal coach in the world, Mr. Roger Love. He's a celebrity vocal coach. He's Tony Robbins' vocal coach. He's Vernon Burchard's vocal coach. He is Bradley Cooper and Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon, all the people that have to sing in movies that don't know how to sing. He helps them, as well as the Beach Boys, Stevie Wonder, Christina Aguilera, you name it, he's worked with everyone. I knew nothing about voice until he opened up my mind. And here are the things that are so important: pitch, pace, tone, volume, melody. The reason you want to do those things, changing it up. You can hear me go up in my tone. When I wanted to get a little quieter and tell you a secret, I got a little quieter, right? I brought you into me more. Now, when I really want to boast out my volume right now, I want you to close your eyes and feel the vibrations of the sound coming through your speakers. As I'm projecting my voice right now, you can literally feel the vibrations from your speakers. And the little piece in your ear that's vibrating, it's telling your brain, ooh, I'm vibrating. Ooh, why am I vibrating? I'm resonating with Erin. I'm resonating with her message. So now the mind says, ooh, I resonate with her. I like her. I want more of her. This is another ninja skill. So learning how to do these things with your voice are really important because we're mostly monotone. We have this normal talking voice, and then a puppy walks in and we go really high. Oh my God, it's a puppy. So cute. And then when the puppy's in trouble, sit. That's it. We are walking around boring the crap out of each other with our monotone voices. So it's time to work on that. And that is when you work with me, I write your speech in tonality. You will learn this inside of the community because it's important for you to know how to control this stuff. Tone, the amount of air you're using. Now, Marilyn had a very airy tone. Well, you wouldn't want to use this in a boardroom. It would not elicit the same thing as in the bedroom. The pitch, how high or how low your voice is. This is important. Women, most men are not hearing us because we're too high in our head voice. All right. You got to drop down into your chest voice. And there are three. There's your high head voice, there's your middle voice, and then there's your chest voice. And they're all three used for different purposes to elicit different emotions from your audience. Pace, when you go really fast, or even when I've slowed it down and got you to catch up with me. There's a purpose behind all of it. And then volume, as we said, the volume that you are feeling, the vibrations. So what it actually does is I learned all this, but I know why it works because it actually unlocks the episodic part of your memory. The reason we remember lyrics to songs that we haven't even heard for 20 years, but don't know what we ate for breakfast, stored in a different place in our brain. So if you want to become memorable, you have to work on your tonality. And then there's my little daughter. She's little there. She's now 6. But it's your story that deeply connects with the room. You want to create the Me Too moment. The Me Too moment is not about you. And I had the Me Too moment before it became a movement. But it really, truly is the place where we deeply connect. I can tell a story. My first speaking engagement. I was 10 years old, standing room only. And as I had my little papers in my hand, I was shaking and trembling, and tears rolled down my face, and I could taste the salt in my mouth. As I cleared my throat, I don't know if I'm going to get through this. I said, today we're here to celebrate Bob Lohman. You see, guys, this day was my daddy's funeral, my first speaking engagement. Now, what it made me realize was when I was done sharing, I looked up, just sharing stories of my dad. The whole room was in tears. I realized then that when we share our story, we move people to emotions. It took me a while to figure out how to do that on purpose, but now I do it every single time. Now, if you didn't ever have an experience where you lost your dad, you spoke at your daddy's funeral, that part might not resonate. But how many of you thought about, oh my God, I have stood in front of the room and my hands were shaking, or maybe tears were in your eyes or streaming down your face, or you've tasted the salt in your mouth or the lump in your throat. When we talk about these three things, what was I thinking? I was thinking I might not get through this. I was feeling so scared that my body was shaking. And what I was experiencing physically was the tears coming down my face. We've all had that moment. Any of those pieces. That's great storytelling that gets the entire audience to say, been there, done that. Oh, I've been that mad before. So mad that veins popping and my chest is hurting and my fist is balled up. We've all experienced that. Whether or not the situation we've experienced, we know that feeling. So when you can express this, doesn't matter age, gender, cultural differences, race, it doesn't matter any of it, economic stuff. Doesn't matter because this is the human connection. So it's really important to really share that vision. So again, the words really don't matter because they're only 7%. And you saw, even when I stumbled over my words in here, it didn't make me less of a human. It didn't make me less of an expert, right? You didn't lose credibility. I didn't lose credibility. So don't get so hung up on the words and writing a script. That's the only reason I write scripts for people, is to help them write it in tonality to practice. That's it. So you want to make sure for your offers, because we also said if it's not your delivery, it could be in your offers. Knowing that compelling conversion matrix and thinking about the places you work here. Now your workshops and masterclasses are low-hanging fruit. That's probably, oh, look, it says workshops. See, you don't even have to be a great speller. It can be your low-hanging fruit. This can also be your podcast, free videos you do, social media. This is really the low-hanging fruit that's getting them up your pyramid. Then you have a continuity program, which I'm going to talk to you about today, the Transformational Speakers Community Membership. And I have 7 courses in there. I have all of these, a lot of interviews from a lot of the summits I've done, and even the videos from my in-person live events back before live events weren't here anymore. But in that, you want to build that, because think about this: if you step on a stage and you sell a low-hanging continuity program, so here's the deal, you'll know about it, but mine's $97 a month. You get access to everything. Then we're going to do group coaching. We're going to have experts come in. We're going to have all these things that come in as a part of it. And so it's really important. Then you can, and then, so think about this: if you went and spoke and had 100 people sign up for $97 a month, that's a good amount of money, right? It is. And so I want to teach you how to do that as well, because you could say, I'm giving it to you for free for the first 2 weeks, which I am. I'm going to tell you in a minute, but I'm going to tell you that that is a free offer that turns into a paid offer. Secrets. All right. And then you just level it up. Your group coaching should cost this much. Then your one-on-one coaching, then VIP days at the very top. Now, I like when people pay for a VIP day or they pay for me one-on-one. My one-on-one can just be even higher sometimes the VIP day, because they start with the VIP day inside of their program. But it really truly can work in unison. Some people who buy the VIP, then I sell into the one-on-one. Some people that, and then I start the one-on-one with a VIP day, so they see the whole big vision of what we're creating for them for the entire year. So depending upon where you sit with those things, price them accordingly and look at the compelling conversion matrix before you step on stage to know. Now, if you get somebody into a workshop, right, you're going to sell them up the value ladder. And that's what we're talking about. Start them at the lowest end. And like we did, webinar all the way into high-end packages. So here it is, guys. I'm giving you 2 free weeks access to the transformational speakers community. I have my transformational speakers academy. I have an epic, how to create epic online events, how Red Dot Secret, which is all about how to land to ovation in TEDx. I have my virtual speaker success summit. I have 10K from any stage, this training in there. I have the speaker success summit, which is the one in person. I have lists of hundreds of speaking opportunities. I have templates. I have scripts, how to get gigs, you name it, it's in there. And I'm gifting it to you for being here and being a part of this. So don't hesitate, get signed up below. You'll get those 2 free weeks that you can get in there, see the value that's being created in there, see the community that's being created. And it is an excellent opportunity for you to get your feet wet. Most people can't jump in and work with me at 10,000 or even 100,000, but now at $97 a month, that's easy, right? So don't hesitate, get signed up. I cannot wait. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you on stage.